Hello friends, this is Barbie Daly with Rural Life in the Valley. Welcome to Fairy Garden Thursday. Our host and co-host channels will be linked in the description box. Well, as promised, Gerome and the fairies went to Train Town. But when Gerome and the fairies got there, they were a little bit disappointed. Because you see, Train Town had been covered in 2.5 feet of snow all winter long. Gerome remembered how beautiful it was, all decorated with flowers and the train, the little fairy houses everywhere. It was just beautiful. But it all had to be taken down during the winter. And so now there was a big job to get it all spruced back up again. Gerome was hoping that the rancher's wife was going to help out. This was a beautiful garden bed in the summertime, and he wanted it to be like that again. And so did the fairies. They were all huddled on top of the tower where the sign once stood, talking about it. They could tell also that there was a lot of work to do, but one of the fairies mentioned, "I know it's going to be a while before we are able to live here, but do you think while the rancher's wife is helping to clean this area up, we can make our own little fairy garden? I saw a flower box over on the patio that would be the perfect spot for a time for us. It's right over there." So the rancher's wife said yes, she would help them build this fairy garden, but first they must walk out into the woods and pick up some items that would be used for the fairy garden. A little bit of moss, and look, there's a buttercup, the first sign of spring. That might be fun to be used in the fairy garden. So the rancher's wife picked up the moss, a few sticks, and headed back over to the flower pot. She had picked up some of the buttercups so that they could be replanted and hopefully that they'll grow in the fairy garden. She got out her shovel and the sticks. She planted some flowers she had just purchased, some pansies and violas, and another beautiful white flower. Then she started adding things to the ground, some of the moss, some sticks, and the beautiful little buttercups. And then she put a fairy house on there just for the fairies, and a bench and a couple of mushrooms. It was a perfect spot. Rose was delighted, and so were the older fairies. They knew that they could have this spot to enjoy the valley while spring arrived, as far as the weather goes anyway. You could see the grass is getting a little greener, but there was so much work to be done. But meanwhile, they were going to enjoy their little fairy box. And from there, they could see Train Town and visualize how it once was. The fairies enjoyed their little fairy garden all day, and they looked over the valley, and soon the sun was setting, and they saw a most beautiful sunset that was reflecting on the lake below. They hope you enjoyed this little fairy tale, and we are all wishing you a wonderful day or evening wherever in the world you are. Bye-bye.